everybody. Today's video is going to be all about your core. Emily and I are going to show you some very simple core exercises that are very effective and you can do them very quickly. We're going to go through an actual workout where it's about 15 minutes in length. Everybody can fit that into your day and just to, again, work and tighten this core.
Okay, so we're gonna start out with your basic crunch. Just lay flat on your back, feet planted on the ground. I'm gonna go on back. We're just gonna do 20. You're gonna do your basic crunch. Pretend like you have an apple right here, because you don't want to move your neck with the crunch. Just hold it still, feel like something's there. Don't push forward, don't relax back, just hold comfortable. All the movement comes from your abs. Just gonna crunch 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And look at the form that she's doing. She's using really good form there. Not in a hurry. Really engaging her core muscles.
And that's 15. Remember, we want to breathe out on the way up. Yeah. Up. Breathe on the way down. Up. So that was 15. We're going to do 2 sets. So we're just going to wait a couple seconds between. Let your body calm down for a second. Now back at it. Ready, guys? Let's go. 1, 2. Now breathe like me.
And you notice, again, as she's coming up, she's exhaling, and when she goes down, she's inhaling. And she's not, even though her hands are by her head, she is not lifting with her arms. They're just kind of placed up around her skull and her ear. She's not lifting, because that'll make it kind of a cheat, and also actually more work.
It'll hurt your neck. You can feel all the movement right here. So that's it.
Okay.
2 sets of 15 on the crunches.
So now we're going to trade spots, and Emily's going to come over here and film while I do the next segment. So this next one is a version of what she was doing. This is a in the air, legs in the air crunch. So you can keep your feet straight, you can cross them whenever you want, you can bend them a little bit. And again, Emily likes to put her hands up here. I tend to put my hands across my chest. Do whatever you want, but just don't pull with the hands. And again, I tend to do my abs a lot slower, because when you do them slower, you're working the muscles a lot more than if you do them a little bit more quickly. And again, you want to exhale, you want to blow on the way out, on the way up, and you want to inhale on the way down. So I'm exhaling. And then I'm going inhaling on the way in, on the way back down. So my set takes a little bit longer than Emily's because I'm going a little bit slower. And something else to bear in mind when you do this is when you do come up, you are going up as far as you can and all the way back. You don't want to just come up part way like this and then back down. Part way and back down. You want to come all the way up, all the way down. And at first it'll be difficult to do that if this is new to you, but you'll get the hang of it. It just takes some practice. The higher up you can go and squeeze it for a second, the more effective results you're going to get. Now rest that for just a second. And you just want to wait typically 5 seconds, 10 seconds, depending on your fitness level. And legs go up again. We're doing 2 sets of these, 2 sets of each exercise. And I'm starting to burn. And that's good. That's what you want to feel. You want to feel it start to tighten and get a little uncomfortable, because if it's not uncomfortable, then you're not doing so much. You want it to be a little bit sore. A little bit sore. Don't hurt yourself doing this. If any of this ever hurts, then stop doing it. And exhaling on the way up and inhaling on the way down. Couple more. And I'll end this set on one other note about your abs. Oh, I can't talk and do that at the same time. So the other thing to think about is you can either do a set of 10 or 15 reps like we were doing here, or some people do it in a time kind of a frame where they will say, I will do as many as I can within 30 seconds or 60 seconds. It just depends on how you want to work out. I prefer doing the counting myself. It just helps me track it better, but you can do it for, say, I'll do, a minute's worth of those crunches or 30 seconds worth of those crunches and see how that works for you. But again, don't be in a hurry to get it done, okay? So Emily's gonna show you the next one.
Okay, I'm gonna start out with the modified plank. If you're starting at this, if you're uncomfortable, anything like that, go ahead and start out modified. So you go down, elbow below your shoulder on both sides. Now modified, so no, this is, you'd be laying on the ground, lift yourself up, modified, see how my knees are down, and you just hold. That's all you have to do. Don't let your butt dip down, don't let your butt stick up, just hold flat back. Now once you get comfortable with this, you can lift one of your legs. Either one, whichever one's more comfortable.
And
She's got
herself suspended up on her elbows there. And now she's lifted that back leg, her left leg is up in the air. So she's doing kind of like a half regular plank here, if that makes any sense.
You have to start here, go ahead and start here. Once you're comfortable here, lift one. This for about 60 seconds. We're almost to 60 seconds. And then drop down. Okay, just relax for a minute. Now next, if you need to stick to modified, stick to modified. I'm gonna go up onto my toes. But now you see what the modified is. Okay, we're gonna go back up. Now unmodified is on your toes and up.
Let's see, she's completely off the ground there. Yep. Perfect form. She's gonna do, again, now this one is time driven. You're obviously not counting reps here. You're doing it for a certain amount of time. So set your stopwatch on your phone or your wristwatch for a certain amount of time, like 15 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, and see how long you can hold it for. That's what a plank is all about.
And if you get where you have to fall, just drop a knee. That's all you have to do. Don't give up. Don't stop going. Drop a knee so you can stay up. But if you can stay up, stay up. But if you have to drop a knee, drop a knee. Drop both if you have to, but stay up. Push yourself to go the full 60 seconds.
And while you're there, Emily, when you're done with that, do you want to show them a reverse plank?
Sure. Okay, and down. Here, I will let you show them the reverse plank.
Okay. Okay, so a reverse plank is just going to be just that. It's, instead of being here like Emily was for the regular plank, you're going to go on your back. Start out just laying completely flat. Hands at your side, and your feet are just kind of go up off the floor a few inches. You don't want them up here. Well, you can start up here if you're new to this. It'll make it easier. As you want to make it more challenging, start bringing the feet down to where they're only about an inch or two off the floor. And you just hold this and you breathe. And you try to think of other things, other happy places to take your mind away from the pain that you're in. And you hold it and hold it and hold it. I find it easier if my heels or feet are touching. If they're apart, it suddenly becomes a lot more difficult because the muscles don't have anything else to kind of guide them or share the weight with. When they're together, it's kind of a little bit of a help. So I would advise you to keep your feet together if you're just new to this. And you hold it for as long as you can. And then you let it drop. We'll do 2 sets of that, and then I'm going to show you a side plank. And while I'm doing that, Emily, you think about what you want to show them next, what next move you want to do. And we'll come up again, and you hold it, and you breathe, And this isn't very exciting looking, but oh my gosh, it really works that core really well. I forget, did you do a regular crunch already or no?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll come down. Okay, so that was the reverse plank. Now we're going to show you a side plank. Side plank, you're just going to start out with your elbow bent for support. And again, if you want to do, there's two versions. You can do the modified side plank and then the regular side plank. I put my feet on top of each other. If you want to, you can put one foot in front of each other. And for a modified, you're going to come up, staying on your knees. You're just going to raise yourself up like that. You want your hip, you want this gap between your hip and the floor. And with this, you don't want to stay turned in. You want to work at rotating this shoulder back and keeping it up like that. That will really work those obliques as well as the rectus abdominis indirectly. And this is the one side. Of course, if we do one side, we have to go to the other side. Same thing, and comes up, and again, see, look, I'm already starting to turn in. You want to turn back and hold that. And breathe, even though you're not doing sets of repetitions, you're still working, so remember to not hold your breath. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Okay, and then we'll go back to the other side. And I don't take a big gap, a big break in between sets with your core because honestly, moving and changing positions is enough of a break. So I don't feel like I have to sit there like on a lunch break and take a bunch of time off. So now I'm going to show you a regular side plank, not the modified version. Again, arm is in the same position, and instead of coming up off the knees, you're going to come up off the feet. So we do this. And again, shoulder back, and you hold it. Again, if you want to change the foot position, you can put that one foot down in front or behind if it gives you more stability. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then we'll go to the other side. Breathe out and come up and hold. You'll find just everybody's got a stronger dominant side to them. So one side is going to be easier for you than another, and that's okay. But you want to keep again, if you're doing this for 15 seconds, do it 15 seconds on both sides. Don't do 30 seconds on one side just because it's stronger than 15 on the other because it's weaker. You want to keep it even all the time. Breathe. It's easy to forget about breathing, especially when you're uncomfortable. But if you don't breathe, the muscles don't work and because they don't have the oxygen feeding into them. So you got to breathe. And that's it for the planks. We did a regular plank, we did the side plank, and we did reverse planks. So now Emily's going to show you her next move for the core.
Okay, next we're just going to do a basic bicycle crunch. Very simple, very easy. Stop and tie my shoe. Check your shoes. This is going to get more your oblique abdominal muscles here. So again, just like the basic crunch, heels on the ground, knees bent up. And again, I like to keep my hands up here, but I don't pull, I just kind of rest them here gently. You can bring them across your chest like Pat does, but you still want to have the same motion. So this is easier to keep your hands up because you know what you're doing here. You can tell that you're making the motion. So I'm going to bring up left knee, right elbow. I want to crunch together and feel your all your abs, you feel it all crunched up. And then come down. And so you don't have to have your arms up, you can just crunch up and switch, and you feel it. And again, don't pull your neck. And opposite sides. No. And again, breathe. Out when you go up. In when you come down. And then make sure to really twist your abdomen here. You should start to really start feeling it now. Like, feel it now. Wait, 4 more. 2 and 1. Good. And just relax. You're gonna feel it pull. Just lay down. Go. All right, come back up. And crunch this side again. 1. 1/2. Take a break if needed. You're doing a really good job. Keep going. Starting to hurt? That's good. Push through if you can. 2 more. 1, 2. Good. And that's it for the bicycle crunch.
Okay. So we've got just a few more simple exercises to show you. I'll show you the next one. I'll let Emily come over and take over again. I'm going to show you an oblique crunch, which is better for the sides here. And you're going to lay down the same way you started with that regular crunch. Feet planted on the floor. Your shoulders are square on the floor. And now you're just going to let your your knees are going to together swing to one side as far as you can get them. Your arms are going to come up here on your chest, and you're going to pretend like a rope is attached to your chin and it's going to the ceiling. It's just pulling you up and down and up and down. Again, I do these a little bit slower. Sometimes I get caught up in my own thoughts and I don't pay attention to what I'm doing, and I start doing them fast, and then I have to remind myself to knock it off and slow it down, because it's far more effective to do these slowly. And again, a lot of these exercises we're doing today are between 10 and 15 reps that we're showing you. You can modify them. If you can only do 5 at a time, then do 5 at a time. If you can do 10, do 10. If you can do 15, if you can do 20, whatever works for your fitness level. And we'll switch to the other side. And again, the knees are going to come up, and then they're just going to flop down to the other side. Hands aren't in the center of the chest. They're more off to the side, like between your shoulder and your chest muscle. And you're going to come up. And while I'm doing these, Emily's going to think of the next one that she's going to do. Because I'm thinking of the next one that I'm going to do. And again, all these exercises combined are great to help you get that flat, toned, sculpted stomach that you want, especially with summer on us and everybody at the beach and in their bikinis. And again, blowing out as you come up and inhaling as you go down. And you'll see we're using these mats. You can use mats, you can just do it on your carpeting. I would not suggest you do this on tile or cement, obviously, because that will hurt. And one more. And that's one set. I have to go back and do it, right? That was just one set. Oh my gosh, I got another set. Just take a short break, and we'll go to the other side. Again, the reason I'm taking such a short break is because this is not highly aerobic. I'm not like dying because of the cardio demands I'm asking of my heart, because I'm really not doing that much with that part of my body. My heart and lungs aren't like dying with this. And the muscles on the other side are resting right now. So they can absolutely go into it as soon as I turn over. So there's really no reason to rest. But again, if you feel like you need to, take a short rest. This is just what I'm used to with my fitness conditioning. You have to do what's appropriate for yourself. And I will make another comment on all the videos and YouTubes out there on doing exercises, whether it be for upper body, lower body, or core. I've seen a lot of people, one more, and let's go to the other side. A lot of so-called experts, and I'm not saying I'm an expert, I've got a lot of experience in this, but I've still got learning to do, and I'm just sharing what I've learned with you. But a lot of these experts will say, oh, you only have to do your core once a week, maybe twice a week to see results, which is baloney. To see results with your core, you could do core 5 or 6 days a week, and that would be perfect. Again, if you can only do core 2 or 3 times a week, great, go for it. Do that, because you're still going to get benefit from it. But ideally, you want to be hitting it 5 or 6 days a week, because that's truly how you're going to get those muscles tamed and toned and sculpted down to where you want them to be.
And don't forget how important diet is with core. It's important to work out your core, like Pat said, 5 or 6 times a week. However, if you're eating garbage, you're not going to see results.
Exactly. So true. The diet is 70% of it. What we're doing is about 30%. Okay.
So if you're eating garbage.
Yep. So now it's Emily's turn. We'll turn the camera over to her.
Okay, so we've touched on front, sides, but your core isn't just your abs. Your core is your core, all of this. So we want to try to get our backs a little bit. So this next move is commonly called the Superman. So we're going to lay flat on our stomachs. Really simple, but you feel it. Arms up in front of you and lift. So my chest is off the mat. I'm lifting up as much as I can with my legs and hold it. And again, breathe. You're not doing reps, so just like with the plank, it's easy to forget. You just breathe through it. If you have to relax, relax. If you can hold it, hold it. You're about halfway there. I haven't been counting.
And again, you can count through this. You can do it at,
Just do it as long as you can.
yeah. Some people, again, myself included, I will set a timer on my cell phone, and when the beeper goes off or I see a certain amount of time pass, that's when I know to stop.
And right now we're just giving our abs a break for a minute. Okay, and back up. Arms out and up. Lift.
Yep, everything came off the floor. And look at the muscles on her. Look at how toned they are from her doing this and from constricting them as tightly as she is. She's definitely working all that musculature in her backside, her legs, and her lower back, which, like she said, is all part of the core.
And down. Good job, guys.
Okay, I'm going to show you mine now. This is an elevated crunch where, and again, you'll have to modify it if it's new to you. You just have to do what's comfortable for your fitness level right now. Hands on the floor, start with your feet down, and let's break it into like a 2-motion thing. You're going to come up, and you're going to push up, and then come down, and just a gentle tap. You don't rest, just tap, come up, push up so your butt's coming off the floor, and then tap. All up, push up, and then down. Sometimes, again, if you're new to this, you'll come up to here, and you can only do just a short little one. And that's fine. If you're new to this, come down and tap, and then come up, and just a short little bounce up. That's a modified version of this. That's perfectly okay in the beginning. But when you get better at it, you're going to want to come up, extend up, and then down. And I do this, again, with my feet touching each other. I feel like I've got more control over the motion. And you'll be putting a lot of weight on your hands to balance yourself as you do this.
I find one spot on the ceiling, focus on that, and pretend like you're trying to hit it with the heels of your feet.
Yep. And of course, breathing, exhaling, coming up, and inhaling all the rest of the time. Do one more. And we'll just rest for a second. We'll do another. And again, as a side note, if you are working out with us as we do this for the first time, or you've watched us a few times already, you should always have water on hand. Hydrating yourself is huge for this kind of thing. You don't ever want to get dehydrated. Let's start again. One more. Okay. And that's it for the elevated crunch. I have one more exercise to show you. I don't know if Emily, do you have anything else? Okay, so I'm going to show you one other exercise. Again, just laying here on your mat, everything on the floor. You're going to bring your head up. Your head, ideally your head and shoulders want to come up a little bit. Again, if you're new to this, you can probably only just lift your head up a little bit if your upper back's not that strong. But you want to bring this up, and you're going to bring a leg up. This stays up. This doesn't move. You're just bringing the one leg up as high as you can. It doesn't look like much, and you do feel it a lot here in the quadricep, but it is also working this lower quadrant of the abs, the rectus abdominis here. And again, exhaling and inhaling. Exhaling and inhaling. Two more. And we'll just take a short break for a second, because that does sting. And again, you also want to lower your head, because that your upper back and your shoulders and neck were all working hard there, even though it didn't look like it. Bring it up again. And again, when I come down, I am just tapping the floor for a second. I am not resting there. Same thing when you saw any of the other moves that we did with the crunches. When we lowered our heads, it was just for a split second, just to go down, make contact with the ground, and then right back up. You do not rest there, but that's if you're in a good fitness kind of conditioning level. If you're just getting started, you can rest there for a half a second or a second or two. But ideally you want just a tap and then on the way back up. Because that constant muscle tension is what gets you the results. And we'll just take a break. And like Emily said, or I said earlier, this is 15 minutes out of your day. It's nothing. There is no excuse not to do this. It's so easy. The trick is like anything else, making a habit. Just getting into the routine of doing this every day. Well, not every day. You should do it 6 days a week. You always need to take at least one day off. I'm going to start again. Don't make the mistake of thinking a lot is better than a little, in the sense of if 6 days is good, it would be great to do it 7 days. No, you need at least 1 day off a week, in my humble personal and professional opinion, to let your body rebuild itself. Because every time you're doing this, any kind of exercises, you're causing micro tears to occur in the muscles. And those micro tears are what's actually healing and making you stronger over time, as well as burning off the excess carbohydrates and fat that you've got in those tissues. So taking a day off is absolutely okay. It's necessary. You need to do it. Otherwise, you're going to snap. You're going to lose your mind. I know I would. And we'll go to the other leg. Just a few more. And then you can hydrate yourself. The other thing I might suggest is protein before and after a workout is a great idea. Just a little bit of protein, maybe 10 to 20 grams worth of protein, a shake or a bar, something to give you some fuel before and then afterwards to feed those muscles that have been working so hard. And that's it. So Emily, why don't you come on over here and we'll just say goodbye. Okay, we are all done. Thank you so much for watching us. I hope that helped you get a better idea of what to do for your core. And that workout, you can do that workout 5 or 6 days a week if you want to. Do what's comfortable for you. We will come back in the future and give you some more suggestions as to what might be helpful for your core. That was just a small amount. There's a whole lot of other exercises we can show you, but start with that, see how it works. And yeah, and just remember to hydrate and eat well, because that's so important for this whole process to get what you want.
If you have any questions or ideas for future videos, please make sure to comment below any questions you might have. Remember to hit the like button and subscribe button so you can catch us next time. And thanks for joining us today. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day.
Okay, bye-bye. See you next time.